Nothing's not working. Yay! Hey everyone! Happy Friday! I'm Mia Voss. This is Denise Wakeman. We are live at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego, hanging out in my hotel room because we were like rock stars, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Well, time we're in bed. Bye. We talk a big game. I'm just telling you.
Partying until at least 10.
Exactly. We had such a fun time with our IRL last night, didn't we?
That was so cool. It was so cool to meet all like Google Plus people in person. It was just so cool to hang out with Dustin Stout.
We did.
Ben Fisher,
Christine DeGraff.
Yeah.
She's at the pool now because we got started way too early. So Ben is going to join us. Christine was going to join us. They are worn out. We all got worn out from running the streets. And thank you, David Oldenburg was going to join us, but since we really were only able to do our interviews, and I need to post a link for that too, we're only able to do them just with the one person. We decided we were just going to kind of wing it. So if you haven't seen, we did a ton of interviews this week with the HOA Street team. We had one with Denise yesterday, which was fun. And we shouted out, hey, Sid Rest. Let's shout her out again.
Hey, Sid Rest.
She is, hold on, let me give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Thanks. Oh, good.
So with the, I don't know if you guys have noticed, when you got the tiara, I brought my in real life. I think I'm wearing it pretty much everywhere this week because I ran into Martin Shervington on Tuesday night, and he's like, I really almost didn't get who you were until you put a tiara on. So thank you again, Rhonda Green, for this amazing piece. It's got a little rooster on it, which has got a little story behind it, but we can tell you that later. So, hey, welcome.
I heard that story.
Yeah, you did hear that one. Cluck, cluck.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So.
We'll just leave it at that.
We will leave it at that. So, hey, Irene Brody is joining us today. Hi, Irene.
Hello, Mia. Hi, Denise. Hi. Had a busy week, girls.
We did, and you know, we were saying before that pure. Are you feeling like a pure introvert?
I'm pretty much a off the charts introvert. Yeah.
Like in your hoodie and your snuggie.
Yeah, pretty much. But I've
yeah.
Quite a bit. I'm going to move this over because I'm getting blinded by the light over here. Quite a bit. So you have had to get out of your. I know we have a blur, so you don't see the background here at the hotel. So, well, listen. You've been instrumental on Social Media Marketing World. So, and this is your second. This is the second year, right?
This is the second year. It's the first year I've been here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
my relationship with Mike Stelzner and Social Media Examiner and Social Media Success Summit goes back to when it was being formed in 2008.
But still, it feels that long.
It feels that long, yeah.
Right,
but,
right.
You know, it's been a meteoric rise for Mike Stelzner and Social Media Examiner, and
it has.
You can see why when you're at an event like this, because there's every attention to detail. I mean, he and his team have created an amazing experience for the attendees. Everything from the signage to the daily emails telling you what's happening, what the schedule is, the networking events, the games to help you connect with people. I mean, have been really brilliant. You know, the opening night party on an aircraft carrier. I mean, that was totally cool with a band and, you know, flowing food and drinks.
I heard it was good. 1,800 people attending, right?
Yep. Yeah. And that's pretty astounding. 80 sessions, 130 presenters. I think those are the numbers. So it's pretty remarkable.
Panels, presentations. Martin Shervington did. He was mentioned in the keynote yesterday. So that was kind of exciting too, because Google Plus is getting some good traction. Yeah, finally.
Exactly. And give me back that tea. I attended, I was able to see Martin's presentation on creating community with Google+. And, you know, in my mind, I was thinking, he's going to talk about communities, but that's not at all what. It wasn't about the community function on Google+, but it was about how people have been creating, how he has, and people like Mia have been creating really vibrant communities of passionate people. and how he does it through circles and sharing and creating anticipation, and it was really good. I mean, he rocked the house. He was in a big room. He wasn't in a small presentation room. He was in a big one. It was standing room only. So yeah.
And he was I want to say up against, because it's not a competition, but Chris Brogan was also presenting at the same time. So for that kind of numbers to come in, especially about Google Plus, is always kind of interesting. So speaking of the people, let's look at some comments real quick. Hi, Doug Moore. Keep that energy going. Be remarkable. That's my new call to action. I love that.
I love that.
Love it, love it. Let's see what else we've got.
Be remarkable.
That we're gonna work on. Hi, David Leopold. Hello from a nice spring day, probably finally in Cincinnati. Andy Lyons, we love you. Waving madly, blowing kisses. Let's see what else we've got. Susan Fitch, you have your cast at your side. How fun for you to have your hands. Oh, can I just talk to you? I do need to talk about Christine DeGraff, because that's been so much fun. We met up at the airport on Tuesday. It's like riding a bike. It really is. Like, that's what I said about even meeting you, meeting Cynthia Sanchez. Martin's been fun to meet as well. Ben Fisher, I'd seen him a couple weeks ago too. We had the IRL party last night. So this woman, Sue B. Zimmerman, that I interviewed, is the Instagram gal. Yep. If you guys haven't seen her, and I'm going to post the links to all the interviews that we did. She rocked my world on Instagram.
Really?
And I had not been paying attention to it at all. So that was really fun to see that. So yeah, we've been having
to see that interview.
Yeah, she did such a great job.
So generous, inviting everybody to the suite last night.
She did, yeah. So we
Google Plus.
Yeah,
hangout.
IRL.
IRL.
That's
IRL
what the picture was taken of last night, and that was Pam Adger, who's my new favorite thing. She's been on Google Plus. I think she said since
day one or
something. Yeah, since almost, I think, like day or week one. So she's been up on it for a while. So she posted that great moving gift, and I need to share that from her too. Let's see what else. Oh, Deborah Tuttenauer. Hey, girl. Love seeing you both on air. Yes, she was on air with us. We have a connection from back in Denver, Deborah Tuttenauer and I. And then, so we had met about a year ago, but then to reconnect on Google Plus and go, I know you for something else. And then she's doing amazing coaching too.
Wow.
So Christine was like interviewing her and saying, and I'm going to be your new client. So that was kind of fun to do too. Let's see, is the West Coast better than the Scott Scowcroft? Well, Scott is over here, and I'm on the West Coast right now. Ralph Rivera's
here. West Coast rocks.
I know. 2 thumbs up for that one. Allison Heath. Hi, guys. Loving your real tiara. Girls are looking great. I will say we're a little tired, so I'm a little worn out. Lynn Abate is in his house. Woohoo! Chat and greetings.
The NorCal coast. Love the NorCal too.
Love that.
I'm a California girl, born and raised, so
Yeah, this is your home space, isn't it?
This is my space.
Oh, Brother Craig, Doug Moore next year was a bit burnt out back in the early 2000s at the conference scene. Also, whatever. You're always invited, Brother Craig. He knows this. Let's see what else we've got. I think Irene has something up here. Hi, Karina. Happy Bat Crap Crazy Friday, all. Amen. So listen, guys, what I'm thinking about for today, we're going to talk more about the different presenters and so forth, but I really want to kind of hear from you guys what some of your favorite. I know it's probably been about 10 people that I've run into that it's so fun to see. Yeah, last night was so much fun. We had Dustin Stout, Bethan Davies,
Ryan Hanley.
He was great, much taller than I knew.
Oh my gosh, it's like hello up there.
He did the coolest beer bottle opening trick. I'm sorry,
I missed that.
He was talking to us, and I was like, just flipped it to open one beer bottle with another. I'm just saying, and then I did get it on video, and all the girls and I were like, "Oh!" It was awesome. Very fun. That was fun to see him. Who else was there last night? Martin, obviously.
Lynn Knowlton, my sister-in-law, is here from Toronto, and she's an awesome blogger, and she's now getting into Google Plus too. So that's good. That's good.
Got her drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who else was there?
How did Martin?
What?
Sorry, how did Martin's talk go? He was doing a talk last night.
That was the one that Denise just mentioned, that he was up with Chris, and that's the only one he was presenting at, but he said he's.
I think he's on a panel today.
He's on a panel today, yes. So he's doing that.
Okay.
Good. The panels are being good. One gal, Sue Zimmerman, did a panel with. I think it was Cynthia Sanchez did a panel with the people from Constant Contact.
Oh.
And then, oh gosh, there was another one. And then at San Diego Zoo. So she had all the marketing people from them on the panel and then talking about their Pinterest boards and was totally picking their brain.
Wow.
That was super, super cool. Yeah. So she had a good one.
Yeah,
with that.
the problem is there's so many sessions. There's probably 10 to 12 at each time period, so you can pick one.
Mm-hmm.
But they're offering the video replays with slides and all that. Last night was phenomenal.
Who was that?
And that's Steve Farber.
Okay.
But that's when I was with you guys.
Yeah.
And I
did an interview.
And so it's like you can't do everything,
Yeah, and then not just doing all the interviews, we were just running around like crazy. Because I will say it's challenging to find a space to kind of hang out in, but that's a good thing. It's because every space is filled with different people that you want to run into and meet. So that was really fun too. We have a couple more too. Andy wants to know if you've seen Michael Hyatt, #HerHero platform.
Michael Hyatt is today at 10:45, and that is my intention to go to his session today. So I'll report back, Andy.
Love it. Zara says we're looking so perky after that week. Just pushing. It's pushing. I'm telling you. But thank you, darling. Let's see what else. I know Randy said Randy Hilarski said he loves Pam Adger. So it was fun. I got a foot rub from Pam Adger.
And if you want to see the reaction to the foot rub, that's posted on my profile page.
Yes.
I haven't been online hardly at all because there's just not enough time, so I haven't shared or posted very much. But that picture, was.
I would imagine it was sleepy to me.
Yeah. But I had a footgasm.
Yes. Well, I was going to let you say that.
I really did. You're like, you were going to see if I wanted to actually.
And her face is like, oh my god. So you have to go see that picture.
Yes, you do, and it's on Denise's. I just gave it back to you. Ralph says, "Yay for Cynthia Sanchez. Don't mess with Texas." Amen. Let me tell you something, guys. Did you get a chance to talk with Cynthia Sanchez?
No.
You need to go have a girl crush on her immediately. She is just such a neat gal, you guys. I did an interview with her yesterday. So she's so Pinteresting, right? Mm-hmm. And she was a oncology nurse up until 2 years ago. Got interested in Pinterest. It was all about Pinterest and said, finally realized that it was something that she really wanted to do, was building boards, and then got hired on by a client. She's definitely one of the best success stories I've ever heard of, started doing it, had an interest in it, and then a client came to her and was like, hey, we want you to run our social media, and she made it happen, quit her job, so literally was an oncology nurse for most of her life. She's the mother of 2 sets of twins.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You can see her in real life. She's adorbs. Just the cutest little thing ever. So great energy.
I haven't met her. I'll have to do that.
Yeah, you gotta track her down and hug up on her for me again because she's really, really neat too. So Lynn wants to know if I brought my big bad microphone. I gotta tell you, no, I thought about it, but I would have had to carry it on. And how would that look? I don't know about that. Let's see what else. Becky Lima says she's ready to get her learn on, so hopefully we'll get you something on that too. Guys, throw out your questions. Throw out if you saw. I don't think I've got the. I've got it right here. Excuse me. Some of the people. So I interviewed Joe Polizzi, and I said his name wrong twice. So my bad, Joe Polizzi. But I couldn't help it because it's like Mia Maya. He was amazing. Right.
He's a smart guy.
He's a smart cookie, isn't he?
Yeah. I haven't ever been to his conference, Content Marketing World, but I've heard it's amazing. And I think they're doing the 4th one this year, but I've heard it's really a great conference.
Yeah, he was talking about that too. They have Kevin Spacey as their keynote speaker.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, how'd you nail that one? He said he just reached out to him.
House of Cards.
I know, right? I love that he talks right to the camera. It's like House of Cards right now that we're talking about it.
Now, what do you think?
He who was talking a lot about community as well, Mia.
What, honey? Say that again.
Was he who was talking about it a bit about community? Was he the chap who was talking quite a bit about community as well?
You know,
Was it him or was it?
Here's what his presentation was on: 5 content marketing practices that most businesses ignore. And what he really, you know, content is obviously the buzzword, and he was basically saying that most people don't even have like an editorial strategy, so they just put out a ton of content and don't do anything with it. So I will post that interview too, because I was nerding out pretty hardcore. He's just a really
Me too.
guy. His company, oh gosh, I can't remember it. It's like Content Found. He's the founder of it. Yeah. So, and you know what's kind of cool about him too is that he was saying that conference that they do, it's in I think it's not in Detroit.
Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland, yes. And so he's been very specific about making sure the conference is there, and he's bringing people and he's really trying to do something locally for them too. So it's pretty neat. He's very intentional about saying, like, I want to reinvigorate my community, bring some business here. And he gets that a lot from people who are like, where is
Cleveland?
Exactly.
Like, why would we go to Cleveland? But, you know, it makes sense too, because it is like in the middle of the country pretty much. So it's, you know, a good way. And, you know, it's different too, because most of the big conferences are like on the coast usually. And
destination cities that have a ton of business anyway.
Exactly.
So to kind of reinvigorate that into it, like somebody else was saying, Ryan Hanley. Hey, Ryan. Love that kid.
Hey, Ryan.
He's something on a stick. He needs to present here. Let's wish list it for him next year.
That's on his list.
And you've been on his show too.
Yep, one time.
Yeah.
I was a fill-in.
But you filled in nicely. I'm just gonna say, but I watched that too. Well, I watched because it was Ryan Hanley. We interviewed him.
Wayne Hardman.
Wayne Harmon. Hey, Wade, how are ya? I think he's on vacay with his family. And then Ian Cleary.
Oh, that's right. I haven't met him yet. I want to meet him.
Oh, he's adorable. He's really neat. He's with oh man, I know they do tools. Drink. Everybody drink. We don't have any coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had a show a couple weeks ago, and it was all about business tools, and I just said, hold on.
I keep losing my tiara.
I know, my crown really does kind of follow me around. I just want you to know, but that's why I wore mine. We decided we were saying tool so much that we were making it a drinking game. So so drink when I said tool. So we just don't have any coffee, and we did last night. We got a little drink on last night.
Yeah, we did.
We did. So he is I can't remember who he's with, but he's such a neat guy.
He has his razor.
It's like party people. It's for us. So
social. Okay.
Anyway, somebody look it up and run in. Ian Clary, he is awesome. Somebody just said Craig Fifield missed his calling in stand-up, which is very, very true. Hold on one second. We got anyone else besides me notice how much more crazy hyper Mia is after meeting everyone she's met. That's called lack of sweating. See the eyeballs. Mama looks a little tired. It was kind of it was kind of a buzz, like to meet and like hug up on people. The hugging factor. I just body slam hugged Martin. I said, forget it. I'm coming in for a hug. I totally did. And you and a couple other people. Jonathan Davies. I think I motorboated her last night. That was probably a little much than a lot of people needed to know, but it was kind of good though.
Well, I think that's what, getting to know people through social media. What happens is it breaks that barrier when you do get to meet in real life. There's no like, oh, hello, nice to meet you. It's like, no, wait a minute, we already know each other. Just because we haven't met in person before. And I like that barrier is gone when you actually meet somebody in real life for the first time, because you already have a relationship with them. And give a hug.
It really is riding a bike. That's all I can say. You're just kind of like, you've had these conversations, you've had the private hangouts, and so you can jump into it naturally. The conferences are pretty cool for that, I must say, you guys. Any of the social media blogging conferences, you really have a lot of fish in one barrel, and you keep running into them. Because you're running into the bar, you're running into them at breakfast, except us. We were tragic about running into one another. We were trying to
it took all day.
Yeah. Well, and I thought, what's wrong with me? I keep missing like the pings. But the great thing about running into each other is because the internet and anything to do with even texting, it's awful. The Wi-Fi is awful. You can't get text. It's like trying to send a picture at a football game.
Well, because there's 2,000 people trying to use it, in the hotel.
At once, yeah. I will say I did hotspot tethering on my phone. Way to be, for sure. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad today. But all right, what else we have? Hey, Scott. David Leopold, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, and me connect. I am going to connect you all. Yay. I like that one. Let's go. Puck always does good stuff. Have you ever connected with him?
No, I haven't.
He is the Scott treatment. He is the awesome sauce for sure. Hi, Eileen. Oh, I love her. Wish you were there. Oh, Eileen Smith. Wish you were here too.
Yes.
Oh, I just love her. She is definitely one second, can't get that off there. I thought of you. You were with us in spirit with Dustin because I've done a couple weekend power chests, and Eileen joins us too. So Heather Crafter, hey girl, I'm up way too early for all the fun I'm hearing you guys are having. This is very true. So I literally am going to go home and sleep for a couple weeks. But that has been the fun thing too, is running into people, and then we sit and we chat, and I've really watched a lot of collaboration. Have you seen that too? Like I've seen some new ideas born. People, Ben Fisher and David, his partner with Steady Demand, and they are sponsors. So
Hi, Steady Demand.
Check them out on Bitly for the BCC approved code. So just go to steadydemand.tool drink exactly and put in BCC approved, and you will get 20% for life, actually, a 20% discount.
Oh, that's a good
deal.
deal.
Which is awesome deal. And they, Razor Social, thank you, Candace. Woo, girlfriend, thank you so much. Whoa, we knew it was social. We had Razor. We just couldn't put it together. But that was cool when actually Christine interviewed Ian yesterday. And I saw a collaboration happening literally like right after the show because he mentioned them. He mentioned Circloscope that Christine is working on. So that was kind of cool to see, too. I think Martin's made a couple of connections. I saw people doing that last night. Sue Zimmerman, again, the Instagram gal, really has not gotten on Google Plus at all. So she drank a giant gallon of Google Plus Kool-Aid while she was here. It was pretty neat to see. So let's talk about that. So Martin was saying that he felt he got called out in Chris Brogan, I think Michael Stelzner
in the keynote.
In the keynote about Google Plus.
What Mike did in the opening keynote was he revealed the 7 trends from the social media marketing industry survey that he does every year, and this is the 6th year that he's done it. So he gives kind of a report on what were the results of what marketers are saying. This is what the marketers are looking for, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, where they want to go. And so the 7 trends, which I don't have all memorized, but
one or two, and
visual marketing, Google Plus, and Google Plus was the #1 platform that marketers want to learn more about in 2014.
Wow. That is exciting.
Yeah,
because I know we've all felt like, I think I hear this traditionally or just from every conversation. Came into Google Plus, looked around, got the hell out, didn't know what was going on, right? And then came back in, and I've heard this from many people, and it was for me last year. I came in 2 years ago in July, heard crickets chirping, couldn't figure it out, quite honestly. Bond, but then there's.
I think that's the way it was.
It's a crosshair color, isn't it? It went exactly the way it was. I gotta fix my crown. Gotta make sure it looks so good. And then left, and then came back a year ago and said, all right, this is a platform for me. I do feel like people are, starting to get the jump. But now when he mentions it,
it's out there onto a big platform. Because at first I was like, why isn't Social Media Examiner on this? Why aren't they writing more articles about it? I mean, there've been a couple articles. So, but I think
from a curiosity standpoint.
And so he sees it now, and that's what's going to really move the dial. And then with Martin's presentation yesterday on building Community Plus, again, a double room, standing room only. He definitely probably took a lot of Kool-Aid yesterday.
I think so too. And I think we were saying too that somebody's got is it an anagram? Missing out on something.
Oh, a mofo? No, that's not
mofo. That is mofo, but I can't remember what it is.
Missing out.
Somebody type that in there for us too. I'm going to see if anybody's got anything on that. Yeah, it's the missing out. Like you feel like you're missing out on something, and I think that
fear of missing out. FOMO.
FOMO.
No, I'm serious. Fear of missing out.
But mofo's pretty funny too.
Oh wait, let me get it. Oh, sorry. Every time I move, every time I get too crazy.
I am going to call it mofo, mofo FOMO. I'm so fear of missing out, and I think that's what it is too. He did mention that too, of like that people are like, okay, it's something cool. What am I missing out on? But I would say the good thing for all of us out there who have already drank the Google Plus Kool-Aid, which is great, if you have planted your flag in the niche or an industry, it's the way to go.
Yeah, there's huge opportunity especially for people who are doing consulting and coaching and training around Google Plus. Huge opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and just or anything that's like Lori Lejour has nailed it with the interior design community, the IDC. And what an unusual thing. Although when you think about it for Google Plus, it's perfect. It's shiny. It's got visual.
Yeah.
They've got the whole thing going on. Obviously, Ryan Hanley has come in with content warfare. He's doing that too. But so you guys, if you've been hesitating on planting your flag in a community or doing a hangout, y'all better get busy.
Yeah. I think really you can be the thought leader in your industry on Google Plus. You can be the leader.
Sorry, I had to get your cleavage.
You had to get my cleavage.
I'm sorry. We're a little sloppy. But yes, I agree. Yeah. I think that there's plenty of room out there, plenty of abundance. Absolutely. As Len Abate Johnson says, get your slice, which I love too. Sarah thinks we're funny. Christopher Vogwood, mofo FOMO. But I knew, look at how many FOMOs we got since we said that too.
At least I figured it out finally. Yeah.
Oh, Pam, girl, how many people can you say I gave me a bus? Oh, sorry, is my auntie calling me? That I gave me a orgasm. Yes, you did, and I mean it for reals. I'm not kidding. Girlfriend got busy on Mama's feet. Thank God I had a pedicure, so I wasn't embarrassed about her having to dig in there because it was pretty.
Well, maybe I won't go to that. Never mind.
Hey, Catherine Wolfong. That was one of my first IRLs. Love her so much. Google Plus Kool-Aid. Once passed around street team. It kind of was. It really kind of was.
It's coming out of the webcam. It's like this little spray that comes onto people's face as they're being interviewed.
And they feel weird.
And they get kind of woozy. And it's like,
which one of y'all kicked me? Which one of y'all kicked me, and what did you kick me with? It's my Google Plus Kool-Aid foot.
I'm a total.
As I did before, because definitely now my Facebook folks love you guys to death. Actually, I didn't even change my tab site because it just was so crazy here this week, but still trying to bring folks over from there to so it's not as much of an F word as it used to be. I still love my Facebook. It's just got a different platform, but I still see quite a gap.
Well, it's interesting because in the Q&A part on Martin's talk yesterday, somebody said, how do I get my Facebook fans over? And he goes, you don't. Let them be there. That's the place where they feel comfortable. Eventually, they're going to follow you. And this is something that I've been working on, too, for like a year and a half or so. And how I do it is that I do things on Google Plus, and I say, come on over and check it out. Then if they want to, they're naturally going to go over there. I taught a get started on Google Plus, and I didn't do a Facebook community for the class. I did a Facebook group. See, now I'm getting all my lingo mixed up. I did a Google Plus private community for the class, for the participants. So they had to participate, and I keep giving them little action items to do on Google Plus. So.
That's a perfect way to do it. You guys, when you think about it, that you just lead them over to it. If you want to put that FOMO, you have to communicate,
and
you have to participate.
So it's a natural thing. So I do my Adventures in Visibility hangouts occasionally, which you're going to be on soon. And I promote it on every other social network, so slowly but surely people are coming over and seeing it because I present them on the event page. I don't put them on my blog, so that people are coming over slowly but surely, and I'm seeing it in the number of the people who are following me too. It's like, okay, now you're over, now you're over. I
get it. Yeah, they're like, I get it.
So it's a natural way of doing it.
Which I like too. I mean, because I did originally and got a little frustrated of, crickets chirping kind of thing. And now I still post it. I mean, honestly, here's the kind of odd thing I was thinking. I didn't post it all on Facebook this week, and I was at Social Media Marketing World. No! So I checked in at the DIA on Tuesday. That's all you got, and I haven't done anything since. So, but it was hard to do because we were running this week too.
I think I put one picture on.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I got to get in your face.
From the drive down.
Oh, we went shopping too. We've got another one too from Lynn. Oh, so great to see you here. I've been writing from far. You're new. Yeah, no, girl, you got that right. She is. And I just love your spirit in person too. Like, let's see. Let's see how else we've got. Organic, Andy agrees, organically bringing your fans. What does YOLO mean?
You only live once.
Woo, that's right. And hi, Monogamous Temptress. She's one of my little Cadwallader. Did I say it right? Is in the audience. Cheryl Deuce finally made it. Work is such a disruption, right? Get your slice. That is true. Let's see what else we've got. Are those large corporate marketers who conducted this study? Which study is that? Oh.
The study from Social Media Marketing World. Gotcha. They survey nearly 3,000 marketers of all stripes. Mike's audience, the Social Media Examiner audience, is probably just about 30 of corporate solo entrepreneurs who are doing their own marketing, and then agencies. So it's really a pretty even slice across the board.
Okay, which is great.
Which he talked about also. Of like, this isn't just about the corporate marketing world. I mean, and this conference is really catered to that. There's different tracks. So there's big brand tracks and
like Joe Polizzi's brand. He's definitely. I said, who is it that you cater to? And he's like, basically, it is larger corporations. So
right. And there are plenty of tracks for the people, me, I'm a solopreneur, basically. I have my own company.
By the way. That's my new one. Entrepreneur, that's, sorry. Oh. That is something that CB Zimmerman came up with. TREP, that's short for that. Now you got to shorten entrepreneur. So TREP apparently.
Oh, TREP.
Is TREP. Okay.
I'm a TREP.
So you're solopreneur.
Yeah. So there's something for everyone, regardless of where you are in that, I'm a one-person show to the big corporate brands.
And do you feel like that is evenly distributed here with the attendees?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not cheap, but it's not cheap because it's well priced because you get a lot with you here too.
You get a lot, and he said that there's something like people from 40 countries flew here to be
that's what
here.
I heard.
And the farthest one was India. Suriname or someplace like that.
Yeah. Like, somebody was talking about that too.
Oh my gosh.
That is the one thing I've heard too, is that a lot of people just got to meet, like they had their intentional IRLs that they really wanted to run into, and then just naturally running into people, you've got the networking plaza up there. Mike Gingritz I ended up running into. I saw he was posting so much, so I ended up doing an interview with him in the networking plaza. I know. He was doing Instagrams a ton. Like, so the selfies has been kind of fun to watch too. That's coming up. So who else have you love the presentation?
Well,
and we've got another day, so you still.
Well, today, yeah. So, because of various things, I only went to a couple presentations, and I was.
Yes, tell us about that.
I did a panel conversation with Mike Stelzner, who's the founder and CEO of Social Media Marketing World and Social Media Examiner, as I said, and Brian Clark, who's the man behind Copy Blogger.
Yeah.
And,
I'm so bummed I didn't get to meet him. He seems really cool.
He is cool.
Everybody said he's very cool.
Introvert.
Is he?
Yeah. He was here for only a few hours because then he was flying up to Portland to do another talk.
Wow.
So we had a conversation about multi-author blogs, which is obviously what their blogs are, and they both started very differently. So Brian started as it was him blogging about content marketing, basically, before it was called content marketing, and Mike started his as a multi-author blog. And so we had this conversation about how the blogs evolved, what their intentions were from a financial perspective, how they grew their audiences, and it was really good. And it was funny because Mike said, I didn't think anybody, I thought this would be boring and nobody would want to come and see this. It was standing room only. I was like, are you kidding? You're two rock stars. Of course people want to come and see you. Like, seriously? I knew it was going to be a big one, you know, and it was really good. And I saw some good feedback on Twitter, so that was nice.
Oh,
so,
good to see. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just all three sitting on stage. I asked my questions, and that was good. I've known both of them for a long time, since before their, you know, rockstar days. So.
And we were talking about that last night, the cocktail napkin idea of social media marketing.
Oh, yeah.
How that came out.
I know I'm not, you know, breaking any trade secrets.
But it's just funny.
Yeah,
even if we can't tell you, it was fun to hear.
You know, because Mike in 2008 approached me and for this idea to do social marketing success summit, and because he saw a need there. And he had been studying the landscape, and that wasn't his niche. His niche was white papers. He was the white paper guy, and like he was it on white papers for corporate. And I'd known him for a while, and so he asked me about this idea, and put him in touch with Maury Smith and Chris Garrett,
who was also there.
Yeah, yep. I missed hers yesterday, but and did the first social media success summit in 2009. It was really successful. And we were together on Coronado Island, just across the bay from where we are right now, and having our celebration dinner because it was so successful. And he's like, I've got this idea, like maybe do like a magazine, you know, around social media. And Mari and I are like, oh, well, you know, there's a lot of social media blogs out there. You know, I'm not so sure. You really want to do that? And he quite really expressed his vision. And of course, the rest. I mean, it's really amazing. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
We were his Kickstarters, or his Firestarters is what he calls it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, just that. So,
because there were 4 writers at the time. It was me and Mari, Chris Garrett, and Jason Falls. And so we were the ones that got the ball rolling for it. He has over 240,000 subscribers.
That's a list.
Twice a day.
Wow.
7 days a week.
That is so fun. And how cool you were on the beginning of that. So
Cool.
I do love that to see things like in the beginning of it and then it just growing into it too. So obviously a butt ton of work, you know, I love that phrase, but totally worth it. You've kind of been on it in the beginning too. So let's see what else we've got going on. Do you see anything we need to pull up, Irene? Any questions for us?
Yeah.
Hi, Kim Boltman. She's so funny. Hey, I want to give a shout out to, let's see who this is. Tina Willis has got a question. I want to give a shout out to Maggie. Man, I can't say her last name. Maggie, she's a food blogger. She was there last night.
Oh, I didn't catch her last name.
It's with a U. She's going to be on Chef Show right after our show here, so go check her out.
Cool.
Oh, she's just something else. She was so fun.
Yeah.
And then Joanne Woolley also came over as well, so that was kind of fun. They live here locally, and yeah, Maggie's. That's reminded me when you said Coronado.
That's right. She came on the ferry over to the party
because she's that cool. So they're really fun to see too. Let's see what else. Does anybody have any IRL wishes that they've got of people they really, really want to meet in real life? Please throw that in here too, because we kind of throw that out. How about you, Irene? Do you have any IRLs you want to talk about? Of people you want to meet?
Quite a few people you've spoken to this week. Gideon, I would love to have a conversation with Gideon Shawwick. He was just to see what he's going to be up to next.
He's really, really neat.
You interviewed him.
I did. I got to interview him the other day. He was actually my first interview. So he, first of all, he's real cute. I ran into John Lee Newman, also super cute. Ryan Hanley's adorable. Like everybody's really
cute.
Martin's got a tan. He looks cute. Yeah, totally. But yeah, he was gracious. So yeah, Irene, you would really enjoy talking with him. Who else do you want to meet, sweetie?
Yeah.
Who else is on your list?
Who else?
Uh-oh. And hopefully it's not our internet that we're frozen. And our bad if it is.
So many, there's so many people. It'd be great to meet. Some of our people that we come, we meet every day, like Stefan and Mike Alton and people like that. Would be lovely.
Yes. Wouldn't that be fun? Stefan, let's talk about him.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she was nosing out a little about Stefan.
No, I was like,
and Jason
like a stalker or something now. I just adore Stefan. I know that.
I think he'd be happy.
I know.
I have to tell you, if you get to choose your stalkers, I would choose this one too.
I love what he's doing.
And it's not for the George Clooney reason either.
Okay, last nap. He
No.
really does too. I like that too. He's just a smarty pants.
He is so smart.
Mhm.
I mean, that was the initial attraction for me. It's just like, oh my gosh, I love the way he thinks.
Yeah.
That's for me. It's like, I love.
Yeah, I'll just listen. Yeah.
Which is, guys, what's fun about that too is that we, we get to meet in real life is awesome. But I've had a couple of private hangouts with Stefan. I've had one with you. Irene and I have had a ton. Craig Fifield. We get shit done when we have these talks, and then we're like a bunch of hands just clucking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, here's our girl, Rhonda Green. Hey, girl. Oh, we got to see your girl and hug up on her last night. I wish. Oh, man, I would hug up on you. So I would give you the running jump hug. Beth and Ben, Christine, Cheryl, Stephanie Sims, Ryan Miner, Kirk Sherrod, yes, Dennis Deuce. Wouldn't that be fun? Yes, Dawn Swick, it is. Maggie Unsueta. She said, I'm not even saying it right. When she says it, I just kind of gave her the head tilt, like, oh. She's just so cute. She's beautiful. She's a really, really neat gal. So Zara says, thank you for sharing your inspiration your process, inspiring too. And yes, absolutely. I saw Tina Willis had a comment in here too. It might have been a question. Did you see that, Irene? Can you pull that one up?
Yeah, there was one from Tina.
Yes.
Hang on, I'll just bring it on.
Hey,
you got it?
Oh, thank you. She says, just had a close friend. Oh, darn it all. Do you have it to pull that one up? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just on one screen. I feel here it is. Just had a close friend, hold on, who opened a new franchise, started exploring social media, then posted a question on Facebook about who was active on Google+. She quickly realized she needed to get busy over here. I'm doing some social media research. Holla, right? No kidding. Like, that's true. I mean, I've talked to last night. You may have met him at the party, Smarty. But he was in finance, and then of course Ryan is in insurance. For some of the regulated things, it's tough, and their hands are tied. I'm sure healthcare is kind of the same way too.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's the case. Banking, that kind of thing, insurance.
I have to say, I'm trying to think. Is it Bank of America? I've seen them do some fun posts. So I have seen corporate things that do some fun info that you can share.
Yeah.
So in that sense, they can do advice and things like that.
That's the thing. It's nothing that you can't give like personal advice. So
that's what they were saying last night. You cannot make promises like the get-go.
So you can do general kinds of things, and you can be fun with your brand. One brand that has always, since before social media, been fun was ING Direct.
Okay.
They've always been kind of a fun.
The TV commercials.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's definitely ways to do that. But it's interesting. Just posted your question on Facebook about who was active in Google+, and what I've discovered is, like, I'll do tests. I'll post the same thing around the same time.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook, on Google+, I'll do it in the same format. And I'll get, like 2 likes on Facebook, and I've got thousands of followers on Facebook. And then I'll go over to Google+ and be shared and likes and comments. And I'm like, why am I even wasting my time? But there are people there on Facebook, so
there are. I mean, I find that Bob Voss he'll get a lot of comments on the cat.
Yes.
And I did have a couple of people that are like, we really thought he was your husband for a while. I'm like, nah, I do not have a 3-legged husband. That sounds odd, though, doesn't it? Sorry. That really sounded. Anywho, that will be my cat. So I almost feel like we should just stop the broadcast right now and just like, how can we top that one? 3 minutes, gotta go. Boom, and run. That's how you do. So anyway, we got.
Beth and Stu about when she met, was it Christine and Ben? She pushed Ben out of the way to get a cuddle with Christine when they arrived. That was quite a good one.
That was so funny. I didn't feel like Bethan is a client of Ben's, but had not met before, but they talk so much. I mean, that's how I met Ben, so she was through Bethan. So she came up at the hotel yesterday, and they had to go and buy all the booze for the party last night. And so she pulled up though, and Ben running across the parking lot to get to each other, and then basically just shoved Ben out of the way to get to Christine to have her. So that was a good one too. So I love it. But we were hold on. We were talking about the difference in posting. I do get a lot more. Bob will post something, or I'll post something. I say like he actually gets on there. Mama took the laptop and I didn't leave him the tablet. But just certain pictures will get a ton of action. Like sometimes things that just don't have a call to action or content, so it's a picture, gets a lot. But I do like it that this audience that I have on Google Plus, that like you do get heard when you want to post something that is, you're resharing, which I love.
Right.
Resharing the content, you do get people like, oh, that's really interesting too. Johnny S says, good morning. I wish I could have made a trip to San Diego. We do too, darling. We would have loved to see you here. Some podcasters I would love to meet were Rick Morady, Inside Social Media, and Mike O'Neill, Solopreneur Hour. Have you heard of them? I don't know if they were here yet. I will say John Lee Dumas was here, and Lewis House, and then I know, are you doing podcasting as well?
No, I did it before it came back.
Before your country before country was cool.
Yeah. With you, Denise.
I'm really preferring the Hangouts, and I might repurpose some of the audio from the Hangouts into some kind of
that is what I'm working on with Irene. Thank you, darling, for that.
Which I think is a good way to do it too. Because you can get their audience that way.
I'll tell you, talking to Ryan about that too, because he started in podcasting and now has gone to the Google Hangouts, which he's doing a great. He's just nailed it before anyway. He's very concise. You know, you've talked with him, and I'm going to be hanging out with him next week. But he definitely is like, you just, if you've got some content, and I even asked him about that for these shows, for my shows. I just said, does it make sense, because we've got sometimes 5 or 6 people, we're bouncing around a lot, we're interacting with the audience, and he said, you know what, you can find, you really can find a market for it. You just have to choose it. He said you have to set the expectation.
Yeah. Is that what people want to hear? I mean, they might enjoy the banter, and there are nuggets in the banter.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about that too. I can always find the nuggets by honestly looking at the comments.
Yeah.
Because that's when I know. Lynn is always so good about that too, like just nailing like when they love what somebody says. Like that's where the sweet spot is of it too. Let's see what else we got. Oh, my broker at Trade America, good one, Christopher Vogelman. He just commented about it. Tina says thanks for the shout out. She has so many questions. Really hope you guys have follow-up shows or blog posts. I'll tell you who's gonna go check out Dustin Stout right now, because I think he's been
has he been live blogging?
He's been live blogging the whole time. He's no Mike Alton, but he is Dustin Stout.
Yeah, he is Dustin Stout. He does some pretty epic posts.
Yeah, he really does. So he has decided, because he's doing some volunteering, I guess.
Yeah, he's working. He's a staff person.
Is he ambassador, or is he just like, well, not just, but
I don't know. He checked me in when I got here, so I was kind of like looking. Oh my gosh, that's Dustin Stout is checking me in. He's
also tall, by the way. He's much taller.
He's
than
really
that,
tall.
So, yeah, so he's rocking it out here. But yeah, go check out Dustin. Christopher Vogelman thinks the 3-legged husband is funny. Thank you for that. That is pretty nice. Tim Longwell says Martin Shervington, Vincent Messina, Nicholas Cardot, me. Thanks, brother. Cheryl, Dennis, Sandra Watson. On the list goes on and on. Don wants to know if Nicholas is in a house. I'm not sure if he is, but I bet he would be wearing a tiara if he was. I'm just saying. This is a good one from Andy. Facebook has been very good to me, especially my page. Tons of, well, you are Andy Lyons. Fun and engagement. Excellent for focus study group. Just saying. Amen, sister. I'm with you on that one.
Well, I think it does work very well for many people. I am finding that it's working less well regardless, and I keep trying new ways to engage. Whatever's whatever it is, and I'm just not, it's not happening.
I know Amy. Well, Amy Porterfield is here, right?
Yeah, she's speaking right now, I think.
As we speak.
9:45. She started.
Speaking. It's 9:45 already. Holy crap! We chatted it up. So I know she sent out an email to me. Yeah, just to me.
Just to you, right?
Right. I feel fancy.
Yeah.
But
dear Mia.
Yeah. I've been thinking about you.
Yeah.
But it actually was a really good email talking, and just really nailing down and facing the fact that yes, it's changed. Yes, if you do, I mean, it's definitely about strategy for sure. So you can't just put out, it doesn't get broadcast and blasted out, but that does mean that people are going to have to get their, together and start. You're going to post, and I guess investing too. So definitely talks a lot about investing. So I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but I think that it still has some viability to it.
Okay, here's a point that that Mike Stelzner made in the keynote yesterday when he was talking about the trends, that one of the trends is that many brands are really focused on Facebook advertising. And that he feels that because it's become a pay-to-play, finally, business people are realizing that they have to have their own real estate because we're just renting our presence on the social networks. And a lot of companies, businesses, even solo businesses have put so much investment into the social networks, but it changes all the time. You can't control it. You need to have your own real estate. And I've been talking the blogging thing forever. And
Stefan's really been, I bet you chit-chatted to that up like crazy.
I mean, I started in 2004, so a decade. I can't believe it's been that long. But it's been my mantra for a decade. You've got to have a blog site because that is where you are creating your presence that you own and control for the most part. So, use the social to relate and then bring them on home.
Yeah, and get them on the list.
Yeah, get them on the list.
Is the money.
Yep.
Amen, sister. And I've heard Ryan was preaching that the other day too. We were talking about that because someone on Google Plus had just been arbitrarily had their David Oldenburg had his profile shut down for absolutely nothing, no idea.
This was Facebook?
Last week. No, on Google Plus.
Oh, really?
And when that happened, his YouTube account was also shut down. So guess what? I know. Does that make it?
Why?
I know. Still don't know. Did come back. Everything's fine. But with that being said, so backing up everything, I've been doing it anyway. But downloading like every single video that you've got, all your content, and just kind of locking that down. But you're right, really starting to build that because what would happen if something arbitrarily got shut down, got pulled, Twitter, anything, and you think you've got this big thing.
You think you've got your audience there, and it's like they're not your audience until they're in your own database. They are not your audience until you can actually connect with them without using a third-party application like Facebook or Twitter or Google+.
So let's pick your brain on that one. Okay. Tell us ways that we should. Okay, let's talk about me.
Okay, let's talk about you.
Okay. Enough about you. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
You are beautiful.
You're smart. You're pretty.
As my sister-in-law says, she says, that Mia has some seriously good mojo.
Oh, yay! I was wondering where she was going with that. Oh, she did.
Yeah,
she's a hot,
seriously
good
mojo.
Too, so I'll take it from a hot woman. Oh, wait, hold on.
Come
I gotta
on
give you back your mojo over there too. She was awesome. I definitely loved her. So for me, I do a blog about my show. I hate writing. I'm a great reader. I don't like writing. So, but what I've done is decided that my content, what I'm going to write about, is about the show. This is what my strength is, right? So pulling people in, which, by the way, could you go to themiaconnect.com and subscribe? How's that? That was my first step.
Just saying.
Call to action if you want to get advanced notification of who's going to be on the show, if you want to get notified when it's up on the blog, in case you miss it, because not everybody has time to watch live.
And you don't have to buy anything. Oh, wait, you can buy a Bob Boss mug, and you could also go to thecraftstar.com and get your own Backcraft Crazy necklace or your own coffee mug or your wine glass. There's wine glasses, too. Speaking of which, anybody who won something on the show last week, Rhonda Green and I will be getting in touch with you. My bad. I had the day.
Shannon Hernandez.
Oh, hey, brother. Oh, and he does. Oh, he preaches that. Oh, he has bitch slapped me with that information in a good way. Thank you, brother Shannon. He preaches that in a big way. So yes. So please go and subscribe.
The social networks are so seductive. Because we can have fun and we're chatting with people, but that's not going to earn you money. I mean, if you're in this for business, which many people are, I'm a business person. So when I'm using these tools, I'm using it to connect with, to connect with either people who could teach me something, my peers, or someone who's way smarter than me, or I'm looking to connect and teach my own tribe who follows me around. But I need to monetize that in some way. So I'm building the relationship, and then I bring them back and say, hey, I've got a great article on my blog. I may be promoting it on Google Plus, which of course that's important to do, and on Facebook and everywhere. But then it's like, come back, and maybe you want to work with me, or maybe you want to get my 7 free tips to boost your visibility, or whatever it is, just to get them started onto your own network, where it's you can communicate when you want to, how you want to.
No, it's absolutely it's imperative.
I get
and then,
pretty.
Oh, I love it. That's why I get
this.
excited about it, though, too. Like, preach it, sister. And I know he does, too. Like, let me pull up his comment. He's saying, I agree with what you're saying. I love that mantra. It should be lesson number 1. Have a hub where you control content. Then convert for an email. He's really good about it.
So articulate.
He really is.
Thank
we
you.
love him for that, too. I think Irene's got, hey there, checking in. Yes, that's our girl. Actually, we could wave.
Oh,
Nita, she did lead up, because Girlfriend's been so good. We ran her ragged, didn't we? In fact, hold on one second. Let's see if you can see out the window.
Yep.
Christine's down there somewhere. Hey, girl. That is, we had a great view, too. It is absolutely beautiful here. I got in, it was a little cloudy.
Spectacular.
But it has been great. So let's see what else. But, yeah, I love that. So that is such a mantra for everybody. So do you think that, so what about, do you think, so everybody needs to have a blog, though, pretty much?
I think so, because that's where you are demonstrating what you know, who you are, how you serve, how you help people. You're sharing your expertise. You're building your credibility that way. Then you go deep. It gets indexed. It's how people find you organically through search. If you're actually solving a problem that people are searching for, that's
offering a product, solving a problem, pain points, infotainment. That's what I'm all about too. And it was. I think it was tough for me because I see so many prolific writers, and I enjoy their writing, and felt like that's what I needed to do. And that's what Joe Polizzi was talking about.
You have
too.
a blog.
Yeah, and so now, but what I've turned the blog into is a recap of the show with a YouTube video of it. So it's the same kind of thing, but going in depth as well. And then really showcasing. So it's fun for me because then I get to showcase people even more so to that new depth, and then share it out. So then that integrates with them too. Right. So that's what I found out. Worked for me more than anything.
Well, and that's one of the things I love so much about Google Plus and Hangouts is that you can create this content live, like we're doing. I mean, everybody knows this. I don't need to repeat it. But then I post it on my blog, post it everywhere, basically, and there it lives. You know, and for me, that's a blog post too.
That's right,
and I write all kinds of things to the person I interviewed, and it's.
So here's a practical question.
Okay.
With web hosting and so forth, so what happens if something goes down with your web? So what's your backup for that?
Well, that's as best you can with the web host. I recently upgraded to a managed VPS so that I have even more robustness.
You do. Like that.
Because I was getting a lot of traffic. And, you can't control everything, but you can do the best you can to protect yourself.
And then back up all that up too. So you've got everything up. Obviously you've got your email list too. So even if that goes,
I back up my email list. I back up my blogs. With Backup Buddy. I love that plugin. I download every YouTube video and back it up on my site and Dropbox. I've got everything like triple backed up. Pretty
girl, locked down. I think it's smart though, you guys, because you do kind of get. And I've started doing it about a month or two ago, and then I've created playlists too. So everything I've got things in different places, but I love that too. So so you think people should get a strategy for that as well?
Yeah.
Like, definitely. Back up. And that's process maps. Irene and I are working on that together. Like,
cool.
What happens at? Oh man, I nerd out on process maps. That was for you, Debbie Davis, because she knows I do too. Let's take a few more. It's 10 o'clock already. Good Lord, in a hand card.
Oh, okay.
Sonny, nuggets in the banter. Good point. Yeah, we really, really do on that. Look at this comment. Boom. Boom goes the Wakeman. I love that.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yes, thank you, my brother. Infotainment is the mantra.
I want to meet him.
I
want to meet Shannon.
I got to meet him.
You did?
Awesome. Yeah, I did. We IRL'd it with with Ben, and I came.
Oh, in Phoenix.
We went to the restaurant, and I came back from the bathroom, and Ben and Shannon had this waitress convinced that they worked for NASA, and they were cleaning up something like that. It was hilarious, and I'm like, what the actual? And I came in, and they said something about an assistant. I'm like, oh, she is, and they're like, no, you are. I'm like, oh, yes, I am. And I totally bad. So, all right, girlfriend, give me
look at this is nice from Craig.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my brother, he's so good about this. Social media blog, email list,
yes,
bank, and search blog, email list. Ah, my brother.
Love it.
That
oh, I want.
That kid's so
We need
smart.
to
Yeah, we need a snap from this. We'll snappy
snap
snapshot that one, brother. You're getting in there. Yes, infotainment is the mantra. Yeah, infotainer. Thank you for that. Listen, we're past the hour.
Yeah.
What's your back crap crazy, darling?
What's my back crap crazy?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Did you guys? What's
I haven't been on your show before.
And I didn't get you prepped. So okay,
yeah.
So when I first started the show, I just decided that I wanted to shout people out and then give the guests the ability to shout people out. So that could be a person, place, or thing that you're back crap crazy. It's a great way to do a pay it forward. But I just thought back crap crazy was funny. And by the way, everybody that's been talking, that's the backpack.
Okay.
Hey, backpack.
Because I don't always have time to watch your show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's my back crap crazy? California.
Yes.
SoCal.
Yeah, and I am too.
Here.
And hey, we're gonna have a real quick what's on the bottom. Hold on a second. Look at this. What's on the bottom is how awesome our toes are. Woo! Yay! I just noticed them. So usually what I do is have people stand up and show what's on the bottom. So she's got a cute little skirt. Yay! That's what we got going on. Somebody said that. Oh, that was oh gosh, I just forgot her name. Joanne Woolley. She's like, man, I hope Mia's not gonna do what's on the bottom while I'm there. I gotta So that was a full-on what's on the bottom. We did a lot of what's on the bottom this week. That sounded weird. All right, guys. My back crap crazy is Denise Wakeman, social media marketing world, and definitely San Diego and all the sunny. And Christine DeGraff. I truly
totally
enjoyed
rocks.
Hanging out with her this week. I mean, we've slept together. That's all you got to say about that. Not in the same bed. I'm just saying. On that note, I'm Mia Voss. This is Denise Wakeman. We're at Social Media Marketing World. That was our recap for it. And love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out today.
Bye.
Wow, so she posted that great moving gift, and I need to share that from her too. Let's see what else. Oh, Deborah Tutnauer, hey girl, love seeing you both on air. Yes, she was on air with us. We have a connection from back in Denver, Deborah Tutnauer and I, and then so we had met about a year ago. But then to reconnect on Google Plus and go, I know you for something else, and then she's doing amazing coaching too.
Wow.
So Christine was like interviewing her and saying, and I'm going to be your new client. So that was kind of fun to do too. Let's see, is the West Coast better than the Scott Scowcroft? Well, Scott is over here, and I'm on the West Coast right now. Ralph Rivera is here.
West Coast rocks.
I know. 2 thumbs up for that one. Allison Heath, hi guys, loving your real tiara. Girls are looking great. I will say we're a little tired, so I'm a little worn out. Lynn Abate is in his house.
Woohoo!
Chat and greeting.
The NorCal coast. Love the NorCal too.
Love that.
I'm a California girl, born and raised, so you know.
Yeah, this is your home space, isn't it?
This is my space.
Oh, brother Craig, Doug Moore next year was a bit burnt out back in the early 2000s at the conference scene. Also, whatever. You're always invited, brother Craig. He knows this. Let's see what else we've got. I think Irene has something up here. Hi, Karina. Happy Back Crap Crazy Friday, all. Amen. So listen, guys, what I'm thinking about for today, we're going to talk more about the different presenters and so forth, but I really want to kind of hear from you guys what some of your favorite. I know it's probably been about 10 people that I've run into that it's so fun to see. Yeah, last night was so much fun. We had Dustin Stout, Bethan Davies,
Ryan Hanley.
He was great, much taller than I knew.
Oh my gosh, it's like hello up there.
He did the coolest beer bottle opening trick. I'm sorry,
I missed that.
Well, he was talking to us, and I was like, just flipped it to open one beer bottle with another. I'm just saying, and then I did get it on video, and all the girls and I were like, "What?" It was awesome. Very fun. That was fun to see him. Who else was there last night? Martin, obviously.
Lynn Knowlton, my sister-in-law, is here from Toronto, and she's an awesome blogger, and she's now getting into Google Plus too, so that's good. That's good.
It's got her drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who else is there?
How did Martin?
What?
Sorry, how did Martin's talk go? He was doing a talk last night.
That was the one
Yeah.
that Denise just mentioned, that he was up with the same with Chris, and
Chris
that's
Brogan,
the only one he was presenting at. But he said he's.
I think he's on a panel today.
He's on a panel today, yes. So he's doing that.
Okay.
That's really good. The panels are being good. One gal, Sue Zimmerman, did a panel with. I think it was Cynthia Sanchez did a panel with the people from Constant Contact.
Oh.
And then, oh gosh, there was another one. And then at San Diego Zoo. So she had all the marketing people from them on the panel, and then talking about their Pinterest boards, and was totally picking their brain.
Wow.
That was super, super cool. Yeah. So she had a good one.
Yeah,
with that.
the problem is there's so many sessions. There's probably 10 to 12 at each time period, so you can pick one.
Mm-hmm.
But they're offering the video replays with slides and all that. Last night was phenomenal.
Who was that?
And that's Steve Farber.
Okay.
But that's when I was with you guys.
Yeah.
And I
did an interview.
So it's like you can't do everything,
Yeah, and then honestly, just doing all the interviews, we were just running around like crazy. Because I will say it's challenging to find a space to kind of hang out in, but that's a good thing. It's because every space is filled with different people that you want to run into and meet. So that was really fun too. We have a couple more too. Andy wants to know if you've seen Michael Hyatt, #HerHero platform.
Michael Hyatt is today at 10:45, and that is my intention to go to his session today. So I'll report back, Andy.
Love it. Zara says we're looking so perky after that week. Just pushing. It's pushing. I'm telling you. But thank you, darling. Let's see what else. I know Randy said Randy Hilarski said he loves Pam Adger. So it was fun. I got it
on Google Plus, but it was about how people have been creating, how he has, and people like Mia have been creating really vibrant communities of passionate people
that,
and how he does it through circles and sharing and creating anticipation, and it was really good. I mean, he rocked the house. He was in a big room. He wasn't in a small presentation room. He was in a big one. It was standing room only. So
and he was I want to say up against, because it's not a competition, but Chris Brogan was also presenting at the same time. So for that kind of numbers to come in, especially about Google Plus, is always kind of interesting. So speaking of the people, let's look at some comments real quick. Hi, Doug Moore. Keep that energy going. Be remarkable. That's my new call to action. I love that.
I love that.
Love it, love it. Let's see what else we've got.
Be remarkable.
That we're going to work on. Hi, David Leopold. Hello from a nice spring day, probably finally in Cincinnati. Andy Lyons, we love you. Waving madly, blowing kisses. Let's see what else we've got. Susan Fitch, you have your cast at your side. How fun for you to have your hand. Can I just talk to you? I do need to talk about Christine DeGraff, because that's been so much fun. We met up at the airport on Tuesday. It's like riding a bike. It really is. Like, that's what I said about even meeting you, meeting Cynthia Sanchez. Martin's been fun to meet as well. Ben Fisher, I'd seen him a couple weeks ago too. We had the IRL party last night. So this woman, Sue B. Zimmerman, that I interviewed, is the Instagram gal.
Yep.
If you guys haven't seen her, and I'm going to post the links to all the interviews that we did. She rocked my world on Instagram.
Really?
And I had not been paying attention to it at all. So that was really fun to see that. So we've been having
to see that interview.
Yeah, she did such a great job.
So generous, inviting everybody to the suite last night for
she did. So we
Google Plus hangout.
IRL.
IRL.
That's
IRL
what the picture was taken of last night, and that was Pam Adger, who's my new favorite thing. She's been on Google Plus. I think she said since
day one or something.
Since almost, I think, like day or week one. So she's been up on it for a week.
Yeah, pretty much. But I've
a bit. I'm going to move this over because I'm getting blinded by the light over here. Quite a bit. So you have had to get out of your. I know we have a blur, so you don't see the background here at the hotel. So, well, listen. You've been instrumental on social media marketing world. So, and this is the second year, right?
This is the second year. It's the first year I've been here.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
my relationship with Mike Stelzner and Social Media Examiner and Social Media Success Summit goes back to when it was being formed in 2008.
But still, it feels that long.
It feels that long, yeah.
Right,
but
right.
You know, it's been a meteoric rise for Mike Stelzner and Social Media Examiner, and
it has.
You can see why when you're at an event like this, because there's every attention to detail. I mean, he and his team have created an amazing experience for the attendees. Everything from the signage to the daily emails telling you what's happening, what the schedule is, the networking events, the games to help you connect with people. I mean, have been really brilliant. You know, the opening night party on an aircraft carrier. I mean, that was totally cool with a band and, you know, flowing food and drinks.
Hey, I heard it was good. 1,800 people attending, right?
Yeah. And that's pretty astounding. 80 sessions, 130 presenters. I think those are the numbers. So it's pretty remarkable.
Panels, presentations. Martin Shervington did. He was mentioned in the keynote yesterday. So that was kind of exciting too, because Google Plus is getting some good traction. Yeah, finally.
Exactly, and give me back that tea. I attended. I was able to see Martin's presentation on creating community with Google Plus, and you know, in my mind, I was thinking, he's going to talk about communities, but that's not at all what. It wasn't about the community function.
Nothing's not working. Yay! Hey everyone! Happy Friday! I'm Mia Voss. This is Denise Wakeman. We are live at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego, hanging out in my hotel room because we were like rock stars, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Well, what time we're in bed by. We talk a big game. I'm just telling you.
Partying until at least 10.
Exactly. We had such a fun time with our IRL last night, didn't we?
That was so cool. It was so cool to meet all like Google Plus people in person. It was just so cool to hang out with Dustin Stout.
We did.
Ben Fisher,
Christine DeGraff. She's at the pool now because we got started way too early. So Ben was going to join us. Christine was going to join us. They are worn out. We all got worn out from running the streets. And thank you, David Oldenburg was going to join us, but since we really were only able to do our interviews, and I need to post a link for that too, we're only able to do them just with the one person. We decided we were just going to kind of wing it. So if you haven't seen, we did a ton of interviews this week with the HOA Street team. We had one with Denise yesterday, which was fun. And we shouted out, hey, Sid Rust. Let's shout her out again.
Hey, Sid Rust.
She is, hold on, let me give it to you.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Thanks. Oh, good.
So with the, I don't know if you guys have noticed, when you got the tiara, I brought my in real life. I think I've worn it pretty much everywhere this week because I ran into Martin Shervington on Tuesday night, and he's like, I really almost didn't get who you were until you put a tiara on. So thank you again, Rhonda Green, for this amazing piece. It's got a little rooster on it, which has got a little story behind it, but we can tell you that later. So, hey, welcome.
I heard that story.
Yeah, you did hear that one. Cluck, cluck.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So.
We'll just leave it at that.
We will leave it at that. So, hey, Irene Brody is joining us today. Hi, Irene.
Hello, Mia. Hi, Denise. Hi. Had a busy week, girls.
We did, and you know, we were saying before that pure. Are you feeling like a pure introvert?
I'm pretty much a off the charts introvert.
Like in your hoodie and your snug